Hey guys, and welcome to the FitPro Social with me, David Kyle.
And me, Ash Burley. Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the FitPro Social. And as always with these episodes, make sure you get involved with the conversation. You can leave comments around it, ask us questions as we go through as well. It'd be great to actually hear from you, because that is literally what this podcast is all about. It's about getting involved with you guys and just talking about everyday topics when it comes to the fitness industry. So today it's just me and David, and we want to talk a little bit about testimonials and whether it's actually worth the effort to get testimonials and how much benefit they actually bring to their business. So yeah, what do you think, Dave? They're worth it or not?
Yes, but we do join the conversation. Like, the reason we do these kind of the FitPro Social, it's all about trying to have the chats. Maybe there's some of the stuff that people don't want to talk about, maybe the stuff that people feel awkward asking about. So we do it for you. You supply the questions, we'll get those answers. Or if we can't find them, we'll find someone to get the answers for you. But I think personally that the reviews are massively underrated. And the perfect example to that is just eat. Like when you're on the app and you're like looking for a really healthy option, maybe like pizza, and you're going through them and it's top rated. You either put like closest to you, price, or top rated, and you always look for the ones that have the most 5-star reviews or the largest amount of reviews. And it's the same. The other place I always check for reviews is Amazon. I'll never buy anything off Amazon. If it's not on Prime, I won't buy it. And if it's on Prime and it's got one review, I probably won't buy it either. So reviews are so detrimental to how I would buy. And I'm guessing if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, yeah, you know what? I probably buy the same. On the flip side, and I should really shout at myself for doing this, is I love checking out reviews to make sure what I'm buying is worth it, but I'm really bad at giving reviews back. Unless somebody asks me specifically for that review, I don't feel like I go out there and just like comment, yeah, that was cheers for the food today at this restaurant, blah, blah, it was really good. If they ask me, I'll do it. But if they don't ask, I don't think about doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's quite an important point, actually. If reviews, and I agree with you, reviews to me make a big difference. Like, I always tend to go and check a review before I purchase anything. If it's a small purchase, not too much, but like, again, Just Eat's a perfect example. When I'm going through it all, the first thing I look is that star rating, and then I look at what people are saying recently on it, because I want to make sure I'm getting a good Chinese or pizza or whatever, and they're not going to chuck pineapple on it or anything silly like that. And then same for like anything else, like travel, holidays, that kind of stuff. Always checking reviews for those areas, and it really does make a big difference. I'll give you one big example of this, actually. Not with me, this is with my parents. And they recently went away to celebrate their anniversary, and they went to the Maldives, which obviously isn't the cheapest place to go to. It's a lovely place to go to. And they booked a holiday. It looked really good in terms of what they were doing. They did it at travel agents, because they're a bit old school. And they did it, and they went away. And my mum started looking at reviews for this hotel. And the reviews weren't the best in the world. And they spent a lot of money, by the way, to get there, but they weren't the best in the world. So she actually said, actually, I don't want to go there anymore. It really started putting her off. So she actually went on and looked at reviews for hotels, even used YouTube for videos to get reviews for people and stuff like that. And she basically found the top 5 hotels in the Maldives and decided to go for the top one with the best reviews. And they ended up spending so much more money, like ridiculous, almost double the price of their trip. But it was the reviews that made all the difference between them cancelling the other one they had and paying double the amount of money to go to this other place that was just a little bit better, but the reviews were so much better. And that's how much of an impact reviews can actually have on businesses across the board. So I think they are a very important element of it. But one of the interesting things you picked up, though, is that you don't do it unless you get asked to go and do it. And I'm exactly the same. Unless someone asks me to go and do it, like, it's effort at the end of the day, isn't it? You have to go and put it out there. So you don't think about it. So unless it's front of mind and someone's saying, oh, can you just go and do this? And maybe making it as easy as possible for them to do it, then it's unlikely they're going to get off the bat to give you that review. So I think it's important that we do, anyone listening to this, if you really want to try and get more reviews for your business, then I think you've got to have something in place to make sure that you're actually asking for them, because that can be the difference between getting it and not getting it.
Yeah, we've just had the perfect question come in now, a comment come in now. How important compared to or in conjunction with before and afters? And this is one of the major things that, again, maybe why we're not so good with giving reviews back is because they generally are complicated. Like if you ask a client as they're leaving, hey, it'd be really help us if you could give me a video review. Now, a video review takes a lot of time and effort, especially if it's somebody maybe a little bit conscious about how they look. They're like, oh, I need to do my hair and have to put maybe a little bit of makeup on, make sure I'm wearing the right clothes, make sure my background looks good. Oh, that's too much effort to do this video review. Whereas if you give someone a bit of paper with a QR code that takes them straight to Facebook and they can give you a Facebook review text-wise, that's less effort. And then the comment here is before and after pictures. That might be the simplest review form if that person is happy to do it, because they don't actually have to do any effort at all. You take the before, you take the after, and they have to do nothing. So I personally would say we need a range of all of them. So it works for different types of, like, we have visual learners, we have I don't know all the technical terms then, but people like read better, people like watch and learn better, people like do and learn better. So like if you have these different types of reviews where someone likes reading your Google reviews, that's perfect for them. But maybe they prefer watching videos and actually seeing a real person and think because maybe the text review is fake, but actual video review is genuine. But before and after picture with their head chopped off might be fake and it might be stolen from somebody else. So again, like Ash just said, if we don't get asked to do the reviews, we probably won't do them. But then at the same time, people listening and watching or reading these reviews might be skeptical as well. So if all you have is before and after pictures, then maybe they might think, I don't appreciate the before and after pictures. That's not what I'm after. I'm after more of a mental health transformation, and that's maybe where you need a video review or a text review. So yeah, what do you think, Ash?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important to have a mix. I also think, depending on the type of business you have as well, it needs to be very specific to who you actually want to market and sell to. As you mentioned there, certain clients or certain leads prefer video over maybe text, as you mentioned already. I think as long as we make it as simple and easy as possible for anybody to do that particular review, that's the key thing. So like the QR code thing, I think is great. If it takes you to a review site, even better. And we can talk about review sites in a minute, because I think there's definitely some pros of that makes it really easy for people to leave reviews. But things like videos, if you want to get a client to do a video review, make it as easy as possible for them. And there's different ways of doing that. So one could just be give them a structure. If they're comfortable on camera, you can give them a structure to follow through. Letting them think about what they have to do and talk about can be, again, more effort and work for them. So there's a couple of little bullet points, questions, answers, great. Or one of my favorite ways of doing it is just interview them, like have a chat with them, get them onto a call and have a conversation, because that really does make a bit of a difference. It means you can edit that out. You can use it for all sorts of different types of social proof as well. So I really like the idea of using interviews. You can lead it and there's less pressure on them then. They can be a bit more relaxed. They're already comfortable working with you. They know who you are. And it just makes the whole process a little bit easier. But yeah, I think a mix is very, very important with that.
On the video review thing, so like a lot of them weren't comfortable with sitting down. And like you say, hey, can you do me a review? Oh, I'm not after a session. I'm all hot and sweaty and I don't want to do it. One of the ways we combated that, we said, can I ask you one question? It's going to take you 10 seconds, or I need the video to be less than 10 seconds. And all the video used to say is, how have you been getting on with FitHub 30? That was it. Or it could be, did you enjoy today's session? Or would you recommend FitHub 30 to a friend? And you say, I need this answer to be less than 10 seconds. So we did it to like 5 or 6 people, and then we put a little compilation together. So first 5 seconds was, hey guys, just here's a quick clip of a couple of people, what they said about FitHub 30. And then be one person, they say something, second person says something, third person says something. So it's not a huge, long 5-minute interview, which people are going to get bored of watching. It's like 5 or 6 seconds. Oh, I love coming here because it's really friendly and I've made a couple of friends. Next person, oh, I love coming here. It really motivates me. And then they can see loads of different people really quickly, and all like 5 or 6 people within 1 minute. So it's a lot easier. seen a comment then. Interview type reviews always work well for us. Took the pressure off them for sure. Yeah, like you say, asking those specific questions. So that was one. The other one we used to do, so like you've got before and after pictures, video reviews, Facebook and social reviews. Another review that works really well is just a whiteboard. Get them to hold a whiteboard with a comment. So it could be, I've lost 2 stone since being here, or I love coming here. It takes me away from my screaming kids. Like it can be anything they want. It can just be one comment and them holding it up. Again, it's less pressure on them because they don't have to video themselves. It's just a picture. So think outside the box sometimes on different ways to get reviews for the fitness business.
I love that. I love both of those ideas. But the whiteboard, I think, is a really cool way of doing it because it's a lot less pressure. It's just a photo. There's nothing else to really have to do or say or do anything. But I think the small snippets, I think, is a great idea because it really does. As you mentioned earlier, sometimes there's a trust thing, so you need to keep showing different things out there to build that trust. Because this could be fake, or you might as well be making it up. But I think if you're sat there, in your gym or studio, you're filming a client just after a workout, they've been working out, and it's little small snippets like this, then I think that helps encourage that trust. It's like, well, actually, they've likely to be real people who's actually doing this, and then I think that's a great way of doing it.
Hey, it's going to pause it there for literally 2 seconds. If you're loving this week's episode, please let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. The more people we can get subscribing, the bigger guests we can get, and the more people we can help with the content being shared. Anyway, let's dive back into today's episode. And what worked well from them compared to like doing the interviews. We've done the interview ones before, and like this, they can be super choreographed or edited well. And then again, people might think, oh, it could be staged or whatever. When you're doing these real quick 10 seconds ones, it's just like, oh, I don't know what to say. Okay. And they get to see that kind of intro in it. Don't chop it off, keep it in there so they see the personality of the person who's actually talking to the camera. And like, was that okay? And then you end. Next person. Or I don't know, I love coming here because keep those little sections in because people seeing them, they get to trust that person a lot more because it's not just the answer, it's their thoughts, their reactions, their fun, the enjoyment, them thinking on top of the head, why I love coming here. And then it makes people see them, relate to it a lot more, and feel a lot more confident that they're going to make the right decision to join.
I think that's awesome. I think having that personal feel to it makes a big difference. And I think interestingly, it's about that as well. If you've got that personal feeling, you're maybe doing these testimonial reviews through social media. I think that makes a huge difference as well. But there's also different places you can do reviews. So we have, if you've got those videos, you've got testimonials, places you could put them, obviously websites, it could be throughout social media. There's also review sites as well. I mean, from your experience, what do you think works best? Or do you think it varies depending on the type of services you offer?
Can't comment on this. All we've ever done is Facebook, Google, before and after videos which go on YouTube, and then the clips that go on the socials. I've never used Trustpilot or any of these other review ones, so I can't really say. But on that side of things, I don't personally go and, if I find something I want to buy, I don't go on Trustpilot to look on that for the review. I just go on that sales page. So if I'm going to Curry's or PC World or wherever, I'll just have a look through their reviews on that page. So yeah, they could be fake. I have no idea. But I'd rather, if I'm seeing a product, I'd rather reviews be there straight away. But then, like you say, if Trustpilot is embedded onto it, then maybe the fact that it's Trustpilot supposed to give you more credibility. But I don't know. We never use them, so I can't really give a big comment on that one.
It's an interesting one, reviews, because we use review sites a little bit, not too much. One of the things about review sites is, in reality, if somebody wanted to leave a review for your business, whether you use that site or not, they can do it. There's nothing to stop them because they can just say, this is the business I did, and it opens, and you can then go and claim that business for yourself and respond back to them, whatever, but they can do that if they wanted to. So because of that, when we realized that's the thing, we made sure we had something on those different sites so that if there was reviews left, we would be able to at least respond back to them, say thank you or whatever from it all. So I think there's definitely some benefits of having at least an account with them for doing it all. And I think sometimes, depending what you're offering, I guess on your website it can help. I think it depends on the service you're offering. Maybe not necessarily for PTs or for coaches and things like that, but there's definitely things like with software, for example, I think it's quite useful. Some of the services that we do, I think it's quite useful sometimes. But I think for gyms and stuff, not too much. I don't think many, again, this is just my opinion on this. I don't think many people who would sign up to personal training services would necessarily go to something like Trustpilot to try and find out more about the gym or studio that they're going to. I don't know why I think that. I just don't think that's the case. I think they're more likely to go websites, check out. So if it's a PT or private studio, probably social media profiles. That's more likely where they're probably gonna go for it.
I think, like in the buying cycle, or let's call it the buying cycle. I think you mentioned it already. We need a wide range of different types of success stories because, like you say, not everybody is going to want to join your gym or join your boot camp, start a 6-week challenge today. Maybe they're not aware that they need to change, so they're not in the right stage of the buying cycle. But maybe they see before and after pictures, that's what grabs them and pulls them in. So people who are against that, maybe that's one way to look at it. You might be against it, but somebody else, that's what attracts them to the results that you're getting. Likewise, maybe somebody detests before and after pictures, but loves watching people talk about their experience at your fitness business, or they love just going to the review section of your Facebook or your Google or your website and reading them all. So we need that wide range of success testimonials, whatever you want to call it. So it attracts different types of people, but then at the same time we need to be publishing them out all the time as well, so we hit, and again, it's not a word FOMO, like I didn't really know, like I'm not really great with acronyms, so when somebody said to me what FOMO was, I was like, oh my god, that makes total sense. And the example is you see your friends and they keep posting like, oh, I've been to this pizza shop. I've been to this pizza shop, and you see someone else post, I've been to this pizza shop. You see someone else post, I've been to this pizza shop, and you're just like, why is everyone going to this pizza shop? What is so good about this pizza shop? Because people are talking about it. You're just like, I need to go and see what everyone is talking about. I want to go to that pizza shop. So on your social media, if you're posting success, not every post, like maybe every other day or every third day, or at the very least once a week, then people are going to be seeing this and be like, oh my God, another result and another result and another result and another. Oh my God, what's going on? I need to learn more, because if these people are getting all these results, then I might be missing out on something here. So I think you have to use the FOMO element to really make it part of your marketing machine.
Awesome. Before we just continue with the rest of this, I want to quickly mention about something that we have coming up over the next few months to do with the FitPro Social. And we have something very special. It's going to be open to a very limited number of trainers and coaches. We are going to be talking more about this, though, over the next few episodes. So to make sure that you don't miss out, if you are watching on any of the podcasting platforms, make sure you do subscribe, so make sure you don't miss out on that, because it's only going to be for limited numbers of people. We're not going to go into too much detail about it now, but I just wanted to let you know that something is coming up. It's very special for the FitPro Social, and it's only going to be open to a very limited number of people. So make sure you do subscribe and you follow and you keep an eye on this.
I vote Spain. I vote Spain.
I think Spain's a good idea. I like the idea of Spain.
Okay, so let's talk about it on the flip side. So we've talked about people who've got clients and they've already got people that they can reach out to build this bank of reviews across different types of things. What about people who are brand new? Like they've got no testimonials. Should they be asking their mum and their aunt and their sister and their best friend to give them fictitious reviews, or should that be left until they get their official first client, get the results, and then get the review from them?
From my point of view, I think it's worth just to do it authentically. I think it's a good idea to make sure that the reviews and stuff you put out there are authentic from clients and people you've actually helped and worked with. But you have to remember as well that as much as testimonial reviews are important, if we think about the places where we put in these, the idea of reviews for me and testimonials is really about social proof. It's to prove to the potential lead that you're capable of doing what you're doing. And there's actually more than one way of doing that. You don't have to do that by putting up before and after pictures. You don't have to do that by having reviews from people. So there are alternative ways to do that. So I would maybe look at focusing on those kind of things first. And if you really want to get some clients through the door, you can always offer something. One of the big things, I think this is more online based, but one of the big things we do with online programs when we're first launching them is that we will launch a beta program at a slightly discounted price. We do it for two reasons. One, because you want to get used to using the programming, you want to get used to new systems, make sure they work and get tweaks. But part of that deal is, we'll discount this for you because it is a new program. It's the first time we've run it. We want to make sure we get this right. They're still going to pay. It's not free. I won't recommend doing it for free, but they're still going to pay. But part of that deal is the reason you're going to get it so cheap is because we need your feedback. And what I like to do is have a bit of a roundup interview at the end, like to leave a testimonial review for us. And that's part of that particular deal. And I think that sometimes is a good way to bring your first 3-4 people through the door, to build those first reviews, those first testimonials together. And then another thing to remember with that as well, you might be thinking, well, if I'm going to run like a 12-week front end offer or 6-week front end offer, I've got to wait 6 weeks to get these things. You don't have to. You can ask for reviews pretty early on. You can ask for testimonials pretty early on. You don't have to wait until the end of your program. Like, I used to ask people within the first week, like, would you leave me a review? Because at that point, they already know whether they're going to like to work with you or not. So just make sure you've got a really good onboarding process and you'll get great reviews pretty early. So you don't have to wait as well for that.
On that point, I think that is so important that we don't leave it too late. And again, we changed how we used to collect reviews when we did it at FitHub 30. At one point, it would just be ad hoc whenever we felt like it. So like the client could be 3 weeks and it could be 6 months and it could be 12 months in. But what we need to remember is when someone's 8 weeks in and maybe they haven't got the results that they expected, that review from them isn't going to be as fantastic as it could have been. So I know, you might be playing the game technically, if you want to call it that way, by asking them in week 1 or week 2 where they're super pumped, they're super motivated, they love everything that you're doing with them so far, to give you a high quality review, compared to 10 weeks in, they've only lost a quarter of a stone and it's just not going the way they wanted it to, and they're maybe starting to blame you, and we all know it's probably their fault. And then you ask them for a review, they're not going to get the best well-written review that maybe you should have got if you asked them at a strategic time. So I think, like you said there, making sure we get the reviews at the right time, or asking them at the right time as well. If you don't want to automate it and ask everybody in week 1 or week 2, then make sure when you do ask them, you're asking them at the perfect time. So maybe it's they've had a monthly catch-up and it's been their best month yet, ask them then. Or maybe they've just come to the end of their 6 months and they're so happy with how that 6 months have gone, ask them then. Don't ask them on a bad day. Ask them always on a success day, a positive day, where they're going to give you an actual really good review. And on that, giving a review, one more sorry, make sure you're asking different types of people as well. So if you cater for weight loss, let's say, and you're getting these text reviews or video reviews, don't always have the same type of people. Oh, I've lost 5 stone, I've lost 5 stone, I've lost 5 stone, I've lost 5 stone. Because that will attract certain types of people. But you want somebody to talk about, my clothes fit way better. That's a different type of review that somebody's going to feel, oh, that's me. And you want them to talk about them personally as well. I'm a mum of 2 kids. I work a full-time busy job. That then will talk to a certain audience as well, because they see themselves in that review.
I think that's such an important side of it as well, because the numbers are fine. Like, people think I want to lose X amount of weight, but we all know, if we're using weight loss, for example, but we all know as coaches that in reality, that's not the true reason they want to lose X amount of weight. There's always other reasons why they want to do it. And I think being able to identify that within reviews, try to identify that within testimonials, I think is really important. And having that conversation, okay, where did you start from? What was it like when you started? What was it like doing your journey with us? And then what was it like after? What's your life like now? And I think if you can identify those 3 areas within any kind of review that's being left, you're going to speak to more people, because it's not just about, I've lost 10 pounds, which is what every coach is doing, basically saying the X amount of weight. You're actually now talking and speaking to an individual, thinking, actually, deep down, I know this is me that they're talking about now, and look how they feel now because of working with David or working with whoever. And I think that's such an important thing to try and include in any reviews that you put together.
Hey, just going to pause it there really quickly. If you know any guests that would love to feature, or if you yourself would like to feature on one of these episodes, do let us know by reaching out or letting us know in the comments. Anyway, let's get back into the episode. Video reviews, one more on that. Video review, perfect. Ask the questions. Get that video then chopped up into those individual questions. So you've got one big, long 2-minute review and you've asked 6 questions. Chop it down into those individual 6 questions. So you've got one big review, 6 question reviews. So that's 7 bits of content there straight away. Get the whole thing transcribed. You've got one big blog post then. And then you've also got 6 short social media posts then. So you've gone 6, 12, 13, 14 bits of content just by sitting down, interviewing somebody, talking about it. There's one more success review testimonial thing I think we haven't mentioned, and that's screenshots. You know what I mean? Somebody, you just message someone, how have you been getting on this week? Oh, you know what, Ash, this week's been probably one of my best weeks. My food has been spot on this week. I really appreciate the cheat sheet you gave me. Screenshot, post that on social media. You're like, and then you've got a post about that success and the cheat sheet to get people to entice them in. So there's just so many different ways to get reviews. You just need to be like finding the ones that work for you and they're the easiest to get the clients to respond to.
Oh, definitely. The screenshots probably one of my favorite ways of doing it. Having a conversation with somebody and seeing where they're at, and then just saying, "Look, do you mind if I share this?" They go, "Yeah, cool." And then you say, "Can I tag you in it?" And it helps again with that proof because you've actually now tagged somebody in who's a real person. It helps with that social proof. And there's the other side of it, I suppose, which we talked a lot here about the reviews that we're asking for or leading into having a review. But you get impromptu reviews as well. Like people will just post something on social media, say, "Oh, this is awesome, I've done this," because they have done that. You do get those impromptu ones as well. And again, screenshots for them are great. Like I normally just grab a screenshot of those. I'll drop them a quick message. I'll always say thank you. I'll thank you them publicly, like on the post or whatever it is. And I'll always send them a private message as well to say, "Look, thanks, this is awesome." And get that conversation going.
Definitely respond to those reviews. Like how many people's Facebook pages or Google's pages have we been to where you've got all these reviews and you've never responded to them? I think maybe that's why some people sometimes are not keen to give reviews because they know they've done it previously and they've not been acknowledged for it. Something on the impromptu reviews as well, something we did all the time and we recommend massively. On the back of the exit door where someone has to pull the door to leave the gym, have QR codes on that. We would really appreciate if you could leave us a review. QR code to Facebook, QR code to Google, so they can scan it on their phone and they can give you a Facebook or Google review. Again, you don't have to ask for anything. It's just there on that one, and then you'll get them trickling in all the time. One more thing on the Google one I definitely want to mention as well. Don't send a big bulk message out and get loads of reviews in like 1 hour. If Google, I'm not sure if Facebook do this, but I know Google definitely do. If Google suddenly see you get loads of reviews, let's say 10 reviews in 10 minutes, the likelihood is that they'll publish one and the rest will just be, there's a technical term for it, but they just won't publish those reviews. So if you are going to ask a wide range of clients for reviews for like Google or Facebook, maybe ask a couple a day so they're trickling in rather than coming in at bulk and then them not being allowed to be scheduled as they think they're just fake. Or I'm sure there's a technical term for it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's archive, but it's not. There's a proper name for it. I mean, you can still see what they've left, I think, but it's not published, so you can't see it. A lot of them do that, not just Google, like the likes of Trustpilot and those kind of things also do a similar kind of thing because they want to make sure it's in their interest, isn't it, to make sure that what's on there is legitimate because they're taking a responsibility to make sure it's legitimate on there, which is actually an interesting one to talk about now because we haven't talked about this and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but what about if the review is negative or maybe not even an actual genuine review, but it is also negative?
If you go onto the FitHub 30 Facebook, I think it is, we've got 4 that are not 5-star reviews. We've got one person who just gives a 3-star review who's was never a client. Literally no idea who it is. They've just given us just a 3-star review. And obviously we've commented on it saying, hey, we really appreciate a review. Unsure who you are, because again, when people are reading the reviews, they want to see your responses to them. So unsure who you are. If you'd like to come down and join us at our fitness facility, we'd really appreciate having the opportunity to show you around and what we can do. Just letting the world know that you don't know who this person is. And if it is a real negative review, then we had one person, we have a reason why she left us the review about 4 months after she left. Starts with M, ends with Y, and that's why we think they left the review, because they wanted something, but like 6 months later, like there's nothing we can do. Like, so respond to those reviews, letting them know that you tried your best. And we see restaurants all the time, they say, we're really sorry about that, we'd love to be able to show you that it wasn't it was a genuine mistake, we'd love to offer you back in and we'll give you a complimentary drink to kind of see if we can show you a different side. So responding to reviews are so important. And if it is a negative one, trying to just let the world know that you did everything that you could have done, or just being honest that, it's a shame that we really couldn't help you this time. So when people read the reviews, they know.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing as well, isn't it? Like, it's in reality, what really makes and breaks a business, I always think, especially for business owners, any kind of business owner this is when things are going well, you're getting great reviews, it's great. But it's your ability to handle things that don't go so well that I think makes the difference when it comes to a business owner. And I think if you're getting something negative on there, it's how you deal with that situation. I think if you can deal with that situation in a positive way and look like you're actually doing effort, that goes a long way. So even if you've got a negative review and someone sees you've handled that in a positive way, handle that like you actually care, that can actually flip reverse and go, well, actually, the majority of these reviews are great. Like this company's doing really, really well. They're looking after all their clients. They've had one or two, but the one or two they have had, they've actually gone out of their way to try and help that person and fix that situation. And that speaks wonders, I think, for any business.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so we're coming to the half an hour mark. We always like to keep these around the half an hour mark. If you have any specific comments on should you get testimonials, what type of testimonials should you get, let us know in the comments below. Or if you'd love to come on and just chat with us about this topic or any other topic at all that you think needs to be spoken about more in our industry, then do reach out and we'll definitely get you on the episode. But again, thanks for tuning in this week. Ash, any final comments or anything from you?
No, I think it's been a good one. I really enjoyed this episode this week. And just to reiterate what Dave just said there, like if any of you are interested in coming on here, whether you've got things you want to cover, topics you want us to cover, or you just want to come on and have a chat with us live on the podcast, literally get in touch and let us know. That's exactly what the FitPro Social is all about.
Even if you want to disagree and argue with us on the podcast, we really do want you to come on, because again, people are often scared to say the things that they really mean, or they're struggling to ask those questions. And we want this to be an open place where we can have these proper discussions. And like you say, what Ash was talking about earlier, we are opening something further on down the line. It's quite exclusive, because we want to be able to help the people who have those questions to really get the answers that they need. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in this week, and we'll see you all next Friday.
Next Friday. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the FitPro Social. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes.